Welcome to the Can Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. Season 4, Episode 21. And we continue our cantastic journey. This time we're heading to the south of France. Vis-a-vis-a-vous, as the song goes. So, I don't know that we're going to take you away to Marseille, but it's always a potential when you're opening a can. At any rate, before we do that, we have to talk about our Wine Nerd Word of the Week, and we have our Dean of Dealcoholization, because we're still in dry January, and we're having a 0% wine here. Are you there, Dean?
I'm here, Brad. Good evening.
Can you illuminate us with a Wine Nerd Word of the Week in French?
Yes, the word is cuvée, the French term meaning vat or tank, and it's used in wine to denote a special selection or blend, often implying higher quality.
Excellent. Well, je ne parle pas français, as they say, but I can read a fair bit of it, and that was a pretty good interpretation that you made there. So, cuvée is our Wine Nerd Word of the Week, and our Can of the Week, I'm going to hold it up here for all the viewers and listeners at home. Listeners, you can't hear it, but viewers, you certainly can. What's the details on our Can of the Week, Dean?
Our Can of the Week is a Sauvignon Blanc by Cypher, zero alcohol, low calorie white wine in a 250 milliliter can. Yeah,
and they say that it's like 16 calories, and there's like a serving and a half here, but most people would drink all of this, so I'm thinking it's probably around 25 calories, something like that. So probably very dry. You take the alcohol away, that reduces the calories a fair amount too. How do they come up with this alcohol-free magic, Dean? What is their process?
It says vacuum distillation, very familiar to us at this point. Lower temperature than boiling and under a vacuum, so the alcohol boils off at a low temperature without bruising the flavor of the wine. Exactly.
It allows those low temperature aromatics and volatiles to stay in, because it never reaches, 70 degrees is the standard, or 70 something is the standard temperature for alcohol to evaporate. Well, they can evaporate it just a little bit over room temperature by lowering the pressure, and that allows it to boil off. Now, you said this came from the south of France. Do you have some information on the winemakers themselves?
Yeah, the winery itself is Domaine de Brau, founded by Fabien Revol and Guillaume Malfry, and they are actually pioneers in organic winemaking, and so their winery is in the south of France, Occitania, if I'm saying that right, where wines have been cultivated for over 150 years.
Well, that's fantastic. And this is a Sauvignon, obviously a Sauvignon Blanc. It is listed as a white one. Where did I find it? Well, I think you remember I told you I made a little, I call them trap lines, but I went trap lining to Ridgefield, Connecticut. I saw they had some good selections of cans of NA wines. They had good selections of other wines too at a place called Ancona's Wines and Liquor in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Pretty large wine store, and they had them in the typical, as you're checking out, impulse item section, but they had a good section of NAs, specifically on one wall, as well as a big selection of cans on the other side. So I kind of stocked up there, because when you find these things, you pick it up. So this one I think came from Ancona's Wines in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and the people were very helpful and very excited that there was somebody doing a can wine podcast, which we are. And I am actually wearing my can wine knit cap, one of the early versions in the West Coast sand color, the California Mendocino County style knit cap, as I like to call it. So I'm wearing that. And in our shout out earlier, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So should we do what we do here at the Can Wine Podcast, Dean?
Which is open cans of wine and talk about it. Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to call this a deep yellow. What is your thoughts on it?
I'm looking, I got my color chart here. I'm going to call it somewhere between medium gold and pale gold.
Well, you're going to... maybe it's my light. Interesting smells. I was wondering, they said one of the tasting or smelling notes would be passion fruit, and I actually can smell that. And potentially the lychee smells as well. What are you smelling?
It does say tropical fruits, and I think guava might be there.
Yeah, beautiful color. A fairly thin on the palate.
Yeah, I don't get any tannins on the aftertaste at all.
No, and it's no sort of malolactic type of things either. It doesn't have any milky taste. It's very crisp, very bright, and very tasty.
I would characterize it as clean. The word I would use would be clean.
Yeah.
That's the word I would use.
There's certainly some tropical fruit aftertastes as well.
They say spice. I'm not sure.
I'm not spraying much spice, but it's 100% dealcoholized Sauvignon Blanc, some rectified concentrated musk, and whatever the natural flavors are, that it's not overpowering anyways. No, I'm enjoying this.
Yep, it tastes like wine.
It tastes like wine in Ridgefield, and it tastes like wine in New York, so we're all good. Now, Cypher is actually, the stuff I was reading says it's the French word for zero, so appropriately it's 0% alcohol by volume. So, and Boisson is the New York importer of this, and this is good until, I'm just reading on the can here, good until September. So there is a bit of sulfite, I think they said, to help maximize and preserve freshness. So a sulfur dioxide, it looks like. Okay.
I don't taste anything like that.
No, it doesn't taste like that at all to me. So
Yeah,
that's
nope.
great. And what would I pair it with? They say herbed sauces. It might be good with a white sauce pasta, or a clam pizza would be good. Salty cheeses, Asian food. I think I'm going to have it with dal and some string hoppers, which is what we're having tonight. I think it will be quite good, so that'll be good. Any thoughts on what you would pair it with, Dean?
I think this would go great with chocolate, actually.
Mm.
And I have to say, I do love the graphics on the can. Quite 70s.
Yeah. This would look good on a can or on the side of a van. The little sunset scene, I like that. Well done. And our shout out today goes to Kenny, one of our constant contributors and a canned wine traveler. He has traveled all the way to the West Coast and is in San Francisco touring around in his canned wine knit cap, the same one that I'm wearing, which doesn't really go well with my black Starburst shirt, but I wanted to give a shout out to Kenny and wear the same hat that he's wearing. So I'll flash a picture of him in there, and he'll be on here whether he likes it or not. So, and he does like it. He's going to be checking out some canned wine for us. He's also going to prison. He wants to see Alcatraz while he still can. So he's out there having a good time, and cheers to him and Lorinda, who are enjoying a much needed winter vacation.
I might add that these Cypher NA wines won some medals at the Drinks Business Spring Tasting 2024, so just thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, that's good. That's the thing that a lot of people miss when they're talking about NA wines, is that they're great wines. These people don't have to say, well, it tastes like wine. It is actually wine. It just doesn't have alcohol in it, and it's quite tasty. I remember we did that a Buzzkill Blanc de Blanc. How good was that one?
Oh yes, one of the top 10 for sure.
I'd order some of that again. I wish they had it available more locally. Now they do an online thing. This you could get, like I said, from Ancona's, but so it is distributed that way. I think you could get it online, but all the indications on the website said that it was sold out. So
very good. This is delicious.
So our head scratcher as we're moving forward here. Where does this wine come from? And we're talking about a physical location. I think Dean mentioned the geographic region, and you can always look it up if you want as well. So anybody who answers that first on our YouTube or even Instagram, sends us a comment, lets us know. We've got these great cards that are going out to all our people, the vintage postcards. And somebody wondered, what's on the back of it? Well, there's nothing. I leave you a nice message, and I thank you. And we'll hunt you down and get your email address, or not email, your physical mail, and post it out to you. So we're happy to do that. So thanks again as well to you, Dean. A shout out just for coming out and helping us to discover the world of 0%, which is quite good and quite growing. We get great responses to these. It's not a burden to try and do these episodes, because I quite enjoy the 0% alcohol. It's been something that I've discovered and enjoyed in doing the Can Wine podcast, because there's certainly a few of them out there. And canned wine in itself is a reduced. It's a way to just open a small amount of wine if you're trying to cut back on it. But the 0% does away with all that, and it does come in bottles. This one too. I saw they have full bottles of it. So,
indeed.
Cheers. In closing, thank you for tuning into the Can Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. Remember, as always, to enjoy responsibly, and enjoying responsibly could even be some 0% ones, because, just because it comes in a can, still, you probably shouldn't drink and drive. Have a seat at home with your friends and enjoy the flavors and aromas of this great wine in a responsible fashion. The Can Wine Podcast is a Center Stage production. All rights reserved.